If you've struggled with stress, balance, or burnout, and simply feel discouraged or even defeated, and if you're ready to move from force to flow and enjoy ultimate Zen success in your career, health, or relationships, then the Zen Success Show is for you. Your host, Carissa Sims, is an entrepreneur, corporate consultant, best-selling author, meditation teacher, and healer who has found her own Zen success. Here's your host, Carissa Sims.
Welcome to this week's episode of Zen Success. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Beth Leeds. Hi, Beth.
Hi, Carissa.
I love how you say that. It's so feminine. Hi, Carissa.
It's a beautiful name.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you for saying that. Well, Beth is just an amazing human, an artist. She says when she has a need, she takes action. That's why her book is called Inspired Action. You can see it's there behind her. What it takes to develop ideas that uplift your family, your workplace, your community, your nation, even your world. It begins with one skill, listening so carefully that you never miss a moment. Welcome, Beth. I'm so happy to have you here today and to give us some of that aloha energy. Yes, I just would love to hear about your book, Inspired Action, and your journey to writing it.
Well, it's bits and pieces. I started when I was 7. I got inspired to act because my grandmother's best friend almost got hit at a dangerous intersection. I went to the city council. They said it would take 3 months. They said it was a good idea. So I went and sat down there and made sure nobody got hurt the next day. Later that day, it took one day. That same day, the city truck pulled up with a shovel, a post hole, and a red sign on it. They did it. They installed it and they said, "You did it, Beth," as they drove away. I realized then that immediate action needs to be taken if something needs to happen now.
Mm, what a powerful lesson. Thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. What about so you have these stories in your book of all the times you've taken inspired action. Do you want to carry on with this and talk about different stories? Like what happened when you were 11?
Well, um, when I was 11 years old, I was a dependent in occupied Germany. And um, one thing led to another. It's a story that in my book. But at the end of the story, I actually had a one-on-one with General Eisenhower. I was sitting in the front row with all the other generals when he did a meet and greet. And when he got down to the commander in our base, he asked him, "Is this the little girl you were talking about?" He said, "Yes." Eisenhower took me by the hand. We sat on a bench. He asked me for my advice. He took it. And 3 weeks later, the soldiers didn't have to wear military clothes on their time off. And the army started cleaning up all the rubble.
Oh,
It was
wow. So
great.
that was your suggestion that
Yeah.
the military look like civilians when it was their days off and that they clean up their mess. That sounds so obvious,
It
doesn't it?
is. I went,
Because it's like treating them with respect, treating them
it
like a
is.
human.
Yeah. I went to Holland when I was a child, and they had already cleaned everything up and planted tulips and grass. And so I told him that. And I said, we had to walk around rubble to get to our front door in Frankfurt. So we moved to the country, and it was wonderful then. And
that's
by the way, in 1952, I invented love beads. I have some on right now.
okay. And tell us about those. So you're an artist
I
because I
want to
know,
give them to you.
oh, you're
Here
kidding
they
me. It
are.
kind of matches what I'm wearing.
It
See?
does.
Yeah. I like that
Yeah,
turquoise.
so in the 1970s, I invented love beads, which actually turned into a trend because beads were very popular then. And people came to my bead store and wanted to make beads for their friends.
Yeah.
And so it just turned into a fabulous thing. Um, and then I had a restaurant, a vegetarian restaurant in the 70s.
Hmm.
And my favorite dish was carob fondue.
Pear fondue. Okay.
Carob. It's like
Oh,
chocolate.
carob. No, okay, sorry, I misheard you. No,
Yeah,
I love carob. I actually buy carob powder. It's so yummy.
it is. So you just melt it with something, maybe whatever you want, and
Yeah.
then dip it in with bananas and apples. And I had it on everyone's table, and it was a favorite. It
Oh,
was
well.
fun,
Oh, that sounds amazing.
fun food.
Yes, yes. So you created these love beads and share about this shirt that you're wearing as well. I'd love to hear your creative genius behind that.
Well, well, um, my grandmother wrote a book called Dressing the Part in the 30s, and my mother illustrated it. She was one of the founders of the Pasadena Playhouse,
Oh,
and movie
really? So they
stars used to
lived
go
in
there.
LA,
Yeah,
Los Angeles. Amazing.
yeah. And so my son and I were looking at the book. He was 12, and we opened to a page that my mother had illustrated, and we made cut shirts out of t-shirts. She did it for the theater so that it looked like queen's clothes or something. And this is made out of a man's t-shirt. I
Yeah, it kind
just
of
cut the
looks like
bottom off.
oh, nice. It really is feminine and it looks like a beach cover up.
It is. It
Oh,
is a
okay.
beach cover up. And then when you go to the beach and you take it off, you can put it on the sand and you can sit on it like a towel.
Oh, multi-purpose. Awesome.
Yeah. It has 8 purposes.
Oh, you want to go into all the other purposes?
Sure. Well, okay. Here's the shawl. And then if you want to wear it like a top,
Oh, yeah.
you
That's
can
really
wear it
cute.
like that. If
Mm-hmm.
you want to wear it even lower,
Mm-hmm.
you can wear it like, oops, like
You could
this.
do a strapless or one shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if you're walking to town and you're wearing your bathing suit bottoms, you can move this down a little bit and it becomes a little skirt and a cover up.
Wow.
I know. And then you
That's,
just pull it off and put it on the sand and lay
yeah.
down or go on the beach and go surf.
Oh, amazing. That's so great. I would love to hear about your time as an airbrush artist. So in the 70s, you airbrushed rainbow colors onto the mane and tail of your daughter's horse.
I did.
Yeah,
Well,
can you talk about
I
that?
lived out in the country and my daughter had a white horse named Cloud. And I was airbrushing a large order for J.C. Penney's in my little studio, and we
That's
had no
impressive to
electricity.
have a corporate account like
And
that.
I had to pump the compressor because we
Okay.
didn't have electricity. And her horse would try and come in my little studio. And so I took my airbrush and I sprayed it, and the horse kind of backed up.
Yeah.
Well, eventually, the horse didn't back up. She got used to it, and I accidentally got some blue paint on her mane. I thought, oh, I'm going to paint rainbows on the mane and tail of Mariel's white horse. This is in the 70s. So
They loved rainbows in the 70s, right?
they did. And I did take my idea and the model of the horse over there behind me. and some other things to Disney and with my story. But they told me, your story doesn't have anybody bad in it. We have to have some antagonist.
Yeah.
I said, well, I wrote it for my kids. I didn't want them to be scared. So, in other words, something happened at Disney and it turned into the most famous horse in the world.
Wow. And
I
what do they
know.
call the horse?
Well, we called the horse Cloud the Rainbow Horse.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And then you wrote a book about that?
I wrote many, many children's stories. That's one of them, where my daughter goes on a horseback ride in the country. All of a sudden, everything turns green, and she's in a different place. And she goes a little further, and there's a castle. Merlin comes out, and they're looking for the crown because the laughing dragon stole the crown and took all the color from the land of air. So they went and they found the crown, and Mariel's horse ended up being airbrushed with rainbows, with a wing. So when she got back to town, the horse was still airbrushed with um, wings on it, and she went into a parade and got first place.
Yay!
And that was all in the 70s.
That's
I
amazing.
was active.
Yeah. Well, you helped a lot of people, especially when you were young. Can you tell me more about that?
Well, one of my favorite things that I did everything was favorite, but they were going to develop Laguna Canyon and in Laguna Beach, Southern California.
Yeah. I know
And
where
so
that is.
one of my mother's best friends was Jennifer Jones. She was a movie actress back then. Actually, she won the Academy Award for a movie called The Song of Bernadette. Well, that song, that movie was about Lourdes, when people went to Lourdes in France to get healed, and they called it a pilgrimage because these
Okay.
children saw this water coming out of the rock. And so I thought, wow, we need a miracle. And so I thought we should have a walk. So I created a walk. In September, I went to the city council and they said, okay. On November 11th, I inspired over 10,000 people to walk. And that actually changed everything because that was a lot of people. And the developer changed his mind and became the good guy, which I
Wow.
like.
That's
See, I like to
incredible.
turn the bad guys into the good guys because I am a volunteer, like I pay for my volunteering by airbrushing, and I meet with the Department of Interior or with the oil company guys. I'll go sit in the middle of a meeting where there's 800 people. I'll sit on their side. They tap me on the shoulder. They go, you should be over on the other side. I go, no, you're the decision makers. Let's have lunch. And we do. It's amazing because it's one of those duh things, like you said. It's so obvious. Otherwise, I wouldn't even waste my time. And when people see something that's happening, like a pothole in their street or something, or oil rigs going to happen, whatever, big or small, they can just stand up and go do something about it by talking to somebody, like an official. Call Washington, ask to talk to the senator. You're a citizen. They usually don't see citizens. Usually all they see are lobbyists. Lobbyists just give them money and tell them what they want to hear.
Right.
We tell them the truth. We go, oh, you know what? You have a little green thing on your tooth. And they go, oh, I had spinach for breakfast and no one told me about it.
Yeah.
Something like that, right?
Well, speaking of Washington, D.C., can you tell me about when you went there and what happened?
Well, it was really fun. I was listening to the radio, and our Congressman Don Clausen, he was the whip then, a Republican, and he said, "We're doing a hearing in Washington, and no one's called me about it." I ran to the phone. I called him up. I said, "Oh, I'm calling because I heard Don talk on the phone and asked for someone to call him." She said, "Just a moment, I'll get him on the phone." He said, "Hello, Beth. Are you calling to testify in Washington?" I was shocked. I was just calling to say hi. I said, "Yes." So he said, "Let me see if I can get you on the agenda. Can I put you on hold?" Yes, he did. And so in 3 days, we went to Washington. My girlfriend and I, we were co-founders of a task force on offshore oil, and we actually testified before Congress. That story is in the book also, and it's really incredible how it happened. Another time, I was walking in the halls of Washington, and the guard was sitting there. He was really sad. I said, "What's the matter?" He goes, "Oh, nothing. Everything's okay." I said, "Come on, you can tell me." He goes, "Well, I'm hungry." I said, "Well, here, I have a sandwich in my purse." I gave it to him. It was so much fun because he actually let me, a citizen, crash and go into the big meeting. I went into this big meeting where the Appropriations Committee was going to vote on whether they should have offshore oil rigs or not. I was standing there. I was the only citizen in the whole room. Everything was congressmen and their aides. An aide came over. He said, "Senator Ted Kennedy isn't going to be attending this meeting. You can have his seat." I went over, I sat in his seat, and right before it started, the door opened, and Ted Kennedy walked in. I went, "Oh my God." I just didn't say a word. I just smiled. He came over, someone pulled up a little folding chair. He sat next to me. It was wonderful.
That's
Things,
amazing.
when you do speak up and it's a duh, it's like obvious that something needs to be done. Then if you speak up, people look at you. And if children speak up, it's even better.
It's true. It's powerful.
It
I'd love to
is.
hear, speaking of children, about your most recent inspired action with fifth graders. What happened?
Oh my gosh, that was really great. Let me get that. Is it over there? Yeah, somewhere. I have, I did an action with fifth graders, and they wanted to work. I go, "What do you want?" First, I always go, "Do you want me to lecture or do you want to do an action?" And they all say, "Oh, I want to do an action." So I go, "Well, what do you want to do?" And they go, "We want world peace." I go, "Really? Well, let's make these little white truce flags out of white cloth, 4 inches by 4 inches. And I attach them to a chopstick. And we sent them. They wanted me to send them to the White House. So we did. So I got a letter back from the White House within a few weeks. I'll show it to you.
Okay. Were you surprised?
I was very surprised because the children, it says, "Dear students." I thought that was so great. And actually, she said, "Your thoughtfulness and creativity are truly inspired."
Oh,
And there it is.
there we go. That's so amazing. I love that.
And
Who
that's a
who
real one.
signed it? Who signed it?
Can you see it?
I can't read it. It just looks like scribble.
Yeah. Well, President Donald Trump signed it
Oh.
because
I was like, well, he's the president, but his signature, it doesn't look like Trump. It's so funny. Interesting.
I know it is, though.
Oh,
And
that's
you know what?
amazing.
They wanted to send him peace flags because they really want peace. And he's president.
Yeah,
So he's the one who could do it.
he can
And
do
they
it.
were hoping that he will.
That's so wonderful. I hope so too. Well, we talked a little bit about your airbrush business. How did you get into airbrushing and how did you get these corporate clients?
Well, my friend used to go to car shows, and he would airbrush people in cars with their heads sticking out, all cartoony, on their
Oh,
t-shirts, and sell them. And then when he wasn't airbrushing, I said, "Can I pick up the airbrush?" And I airbrushed doilies on my t-shirt. And I thought, wow, I needed something to do because I wanted to support my children
mm.
and be at home for them. So I started airbrushing t-shirts, and then I went to fairs, and someone saw me at a fair from Bullock's, and I was airbrushing there. And then someone from J.C. Penney's came and watched me at Bullock's. They called me the next day. They doubled what I was making, and they ordered 200 shirts for me to paint. That
Oh,
started it off. I airbrushed for 18 years, I airbrushed at Penny's almost 2 or 3 times a month. And so that really supported my family and allowed me to go to Washington or do things, support my environmental volunteering,
yeah.
which I had to do because when I saw some, I knew I could stop the oil rigs off of the coast of California. Northern first, then Southern, and then actually I helped Barbara Boxer write a bill, and it was for national ocean protection. I got I went and visited a senator. She was from Kansas. She was on the Appropriations Committee.
Hmm.
She said, "Why should I vote for California Ocean Sanctuary? We don't have ocean in Kansas." I said, "You're right. I'm pulling it because I knew if she wasn't going to vote for it, I was going to lose. I
Yeah.
don't want to lose." And I said, "Okay, thank you." The next year I came back with a brochure, and it was a picture of Mendocino Coast, and it said at the top, "Save the Kansas coast." I said, because the picture you see is in Mendocino, but we believe the coast of Mendocino belongs to all Americans. She changed her mind,
Oh,
and she
wow. You know
voted
how to talk to
yes.
people. That's amazing.
I
So
know.
let me get this straight. I just want to clarify something. Are there is there no oil rigs allowed in California?
There's no new,
No
no
new
new
ones.
oil rigs in California, both southern and northern,
Okay.
and in the entire United States.
Oh,
Because instead of just going to California, I thought, well, if I'm going to do it, go big,
yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So I said national. And then
Okay.
I had that little brochure, Save the Kansas Coast.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's pretty incredible. And I just want to say thank you for that ab advocacy because I love the ocean and I love the animals. I grew up on the ocean in Sitka, Alaska. So,
Oh, wow. I've been to Sitka.
yeah, so you know Sitka. So
It's
that's
beautiful.
my
Yeah.
home. And so it's just very special what you've done. So appreciate you. I mean, you've done a lot of things in your life, but I want to talk about your vegetarian restaurant. And I'm pretty much vegetarian, mostly vegan, but sometimes, I mean, I love honey and sometimes I'll eat something vegetarian. Like tell me about that because you're very entrepreneurial. Like, what made you want to start that and what's been your journey?
Well, I had this was in the 70s also. I had a little club, a cooking club, because everybody loved my cooking. And so I go, well, let's get together. And I founded a lot of groups, and especially the Historical Society in Laguna Beach, and also the Laguna Free Poets, among others. And the poets, I would take what we made in our club I would take it and offer it to them for something to eat. Sometimes I would say, well, pick something from your top shelf of your refrigerator, something from the middle, and something from the bottom, and let's create something. And we did. And one time everybody brought carrots and garlic, and we had carrot soup. So everybody said, you should open up a restaurant. So I did.
Did you have
And
the capital for that because of your airbrush business? Like what happened?
no, there were a couple of men that came and said, "Oh, we'll fund your airbrushing business," and so it was like one of those things where after I did it, and it was very successful. But the plumbers, that's who I bought it from, and I mean rented it from, and it was a red barn, and it was so great. And I did the floors and everything. I
That's
put
great.
uh,
So you had investors in your airbrush business, and then you used that money to open the restaurant as well?
yeah, I
Okay,
did.
got it.
And then unfortunately,
Don't tell them. I'm just kidding.
you know, well, I went to school with the person who owned the building, and he rented it to me right on the spot. I went in, it was empty. He was cleaning it up. I go, I love this place. I'd like to open a restaurant. Can I can I rent it from you and give you a deposit right now?
Uh-huh.
Okay, he said, because he knew me. And that's how it happened.
Wonderful. And then you had enough capital to hire the staff and everything. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, I started selling things even before it was open in the silo. People would walk into the walk-up window and I would sell bread and I would sell I went to this place down in Southern California and I got a bread maker that made 35 loaves of bread and it was like on a rotation thing. And so I would
Oh,
sell bread
oh, I
and
bet that was good.
and actually, when I didn't have the restaurant anymore for one reason or another, the walk up window actually was there until last year. 50 years it lasted. It was called the stand. I called it the stand takeout window.
Oh, that's great.
So most of the things that I've done have lasted, but somebody else probably took it over or whatever,
Yeah.
you know. And then, of course, I was sad at the time, but then I moved on and I wouldn't be here with you if all the mistakes and good things and bad things don't happen in your life. Then we aren't here, be here now, right?
Yes.
And
What
they
is it
used
that you want?
mostly my recipes too.
Oh, amazing.
I know.
Well, what is it that you want people to know as we end our conversation today?
Well, hi, everybody out there. I want you to know that I love you, number one. And number two and three and four and forever, you can do it too, because right now the world needs people to stand up, and a lot of people are afraid to do it. No fear. You don't have, you can start small. Start with a pothole. Start with going into a vegetarian restaurant and telling them how great it was. Write an article in a newspaper about that restaurant. You can do so many different things, and every little thing turns into something big. Somebody hears about you doing it, or you do something, you follow up. Maybe somebody else follows up. They go, oh, I heard about that pothole. I think I'll go put some dirt in it, or whatever.
Yeah.
Everything we do matters.
Thank you for sharing that. That's inspiring. And what is your definition of Zen success?
Well, Zen Success, which is your beautiful, beautiful show, is all about helping people to listening to other people and getting inspired by them. Because how else are we going to get inspired if other people don't speak up and inspire us to act? That's how we do it. Thank you so much. you're really doing a lot. Think of all the people that are watching this show and watching all of your shows. You're introducing them to inspired action. Zen. It's all about Zen.
Thank you. I love that definition and tying in the name of your book. Well, it's been such a pleasure connecting with you, Beth, seeing your incredible fashion sense and beautiful conch.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Inspired. You'll love it. It will inspire you.
And where is your book available? On Amazon?
Well, it's coming out later this month, and it will be on Amazon, Barnes, everywhere you want.
Okay.
And if you want to, you can actually email me. My email address is on the back.
Okay, wonderful. And I'll put that, if you want, I can put your email address in the show notes.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, if you'd like, I can do that.
I
love it. Okay, amazing. Well, I just so appreciate your passion for life and your energy and your divinely inspired creativity. You are truly an example of living in the flow and being in your feminine. So thank you for joining me on the Zen Success Show, Beth. Have a blessed
I love
day.
Zen Success.
That's it for today's episode of Zen Success. Head on over to iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you listen to shows. Subscribe to the show and share with friends. Be sure to head on over to zensuccessshow.com to help you on your Zen success journey. And join us on the next episode. May you find your own Zen success in life.